Auburn University Summer Commencement Address will begin in 5 minutes.
I might cut you off. United Nations. Ready? United Nations. I might cut you off. Ready? 1, 2, 3. through the drum roll. Fanfare processional, then the Star Spangled Banner. Pick up. You're ready for that. You should announce it, and then I'll hit you, and then keep holding, and I'll watch and watch, and then I'll...
Please rise for the graduation processional.
Fanfare and procession. Fanfare and procession. Ready?
Good afternoon. Welcome to Auburn University's Summer 2021 Commencement Address and Graduate School Ceremony. We will begin today's ceremony with the presentation of the colors. Gentlemen, please remove your headdress for the presentation of the colors and the singing of our national anthem. Please remain standing. March on the colors. Miss Alexis Ligon, who is working on her Bachelor of Arts in Music, will lead us in the singing of our national anthem. She will be accompanied by the Auburn University Graduation Band, conducted by Rick Good, Director of Bands in the Department of Music in the College of Liberal Arts.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red clear, the bombs bursting
Thank you. Retire the colors. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce Auburn University's president, Dr. Jay Gouge.
Thank you, Bill. This is certainly a great day in the life of Auburn University. It's a great day in each of your lives, and I'm honored to be able to share it with you. On behalf of the entire Auburn family, I want to welcome you to our Summer 2021 Commencement Address and to the Graduate School Ceremony. I'm going to introduce some members on the platform. Others will be introduced later in the program. So let me start, and I'll ask them to stand and remain standing. Mr. Clark Saley, Auburn University Board of Trustees, Dr. Bill Hargrave, Provost, and our Master of Ceremonies today, Dr. Bobby Woodard, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs, Mr. John Morris, Senior Vice President for Advancement, Ms. Gretchen Van Valkenburg, Vice President for Alumni Affairs and Executive Director of the Auburn Alumni Association, Dr. Taffy Benton Clayton, Associate Provost and Vice President for Inclusion and Diversity, Dr. James Wehemeyer, Vice President for Research and Economic Development, Dr. Rick Cook, Vice President for Outreach, Ms. Regina Sanders, Vice President of the Auburn Alumni Association, Ms. Nelda Lee, retired Senior Test Program Manager with Boeing, She is an Auburn graduate, and she's today's commencement speaker. We'll hear more about her later. Mr. Ralph Jordan, Jr., he's an Auburn alumnus, and he will receive an honorary doctorate today. Mr. John Wagner, Secretary of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Zali Zhang, Dean of the Libraries. Dr. Todd Suri, University Senate Chair, Associate Professor in Forestry and Wildlife Sciences. Lieutenant Colonel Nathaniel Conkey, Commanding Officer, ROTC. Dr. Eric Wenzel, Assistant Professor in the McWhorter School of Building Science and the College of Architecture, Design and Construction. He's today's mace bearer. Dr. Jefferson Jones, Associate Professor in the School of Accountancy, is today's graduation marshal. Mr. Rick Smith, lecturer in the School of Communications and Journalism, the College of Liberal Arts, and he is the commencement announcer. Mr. Steve Geis, interpreter for the deaf in the Office of Accessibility. Let's have a round of applause for this special group. Thank you. I would like to ask all candidates for graduation to please stand today and be recognized. Come on, if you plan to get a degree. Candidates, I would like for you to give a round of applause to those that are here with you today for all the help and work they've done to make this day possible. Thank you. Please be seated. To our students, we're extremely proud of you. We value your determination, your sacrifice, your discipline, your intelligence, and that special Auburn spirit. You've earned a valuable degree that will help you both professionally and personally. Today you join the Auburn family. Since our beginnings in 1856, we have awarded more than 305,000 degrees. This summer we will add another 1,407 degrees at the professional, doctorate, master, and baccalaureate level. Congratulations to all of our graduates in War Eagle.
It is an honor for me to introduce our distinguished commencement speaker. Ms. Nelda Lee is an aerospace and aviation pioneer, talented musician, and Auburn alumna. In fact, she was the second woman to earn an aerospace engineering degree from Auburn. Following her graduation from Auburn in 1969, Ms. Lee began a 45-year career with Heritage McDonnell Douglas Company, now part of Boeing. After joining the company as an associate engineer, she was instrumental in designing, developing, and testing several aircraft, including the DC-10, F-4, F-15, FA-18, T-45, AV-8, and many other special programs across the country. Recognized as a trailblazer in aerospace engineering and aviation, she holds the distinction of being the first civilian woman to fly the F-18 Eagle, logging more than an hour during testing. After a career that encompassed extensive work in mechanical and structural design, test and evaluation engineering, and multi-skill engineering management, she retired from Boeing in 2014. She was inducted into the Alabama Engineering Hall of Fame in 2016 and received an Alumni Association Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. Ms. Lee is a champion for women in engineering and aviation and advocates for women pursuing careers in industries through her work with organizations such as Women in Aviation International, Whirly Girls, and 99s. In her spare time, she plays trumpet in the Women in Aviation International Jazz Band, the St. Louis Community Symphonic Band, and the University City Summer Band. Mrs. Lee is a true Auburn woman who puts our institution's values into action every day and is proof that working hard, following your passions, and having a spirit that is not afraid can lead to great success. We are honored to have her with us today to offer words of inspiration and congratulations to our summer graduates. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Nelda Lee.
Thank you, Provost Hardgrave. And thank you to my family, relatives, and friends for coming today. I hope you enjoy Auburn while you are here. I'm glad you have come. President Googe, Board of Trustees, Provost Hardgrave, faculty, parents, students, and alumni. I was deeply honored when asked to be your keynote speaker. This is indeed a privilege and a wonderful opportunity to give back to my beloved university. I am humbled. My career as an aerospace engineer was made possible because of Auburn, and I am grateful to give back whenever I can. Graduates, congratulations to all of you. Well done, and War Eagle. Congratulations also to your parents and your families as well. You all have reached a milestone destination today. We all like reaching our destinations. It is especially applicable for a pilot on their first solo flight to land at their planned destination. A successful flight is assuring and says, I can do this, and I can go to the next level and achieve more. We are here today to cheer each of you on and encourage you to go to the next level and achieve all of your life's expectations and destinations. In 1968, my first solo flight for my private license was from Auburn to Talladega when the Speedway was under construction. The airport speedway and the airport runway are adjacent from the air, and it appeared that everything was under the construction, including the airport. The woman air traffic controller knew it was my first solo flight and that I needed good instructions because orange cones were growing out of the ground everywhere. I located the landing strip and started my descent. During the rollout, I thanked her and asked her for permission to continue the roll and take off and depart the area. She told me my landing was great, but that I had landed on the Speedway drag strip and not the airport runway. It seemed that faux pas had happened quite frequently during the construction. I was glad she gave me permission to take off and depart the area. The good part is that I survived that solo flight and have had many, many successful landings after that. 52 years ago, I was where you are today. March 13, 1969, winter quarter commencement exercises. I was the only woman along with 15 men graduating in aerospace engineering. I have saved the program from that day. It's yellow. I recall it being an exciting day with my fellow graduates and my family. I had graduated from a small country high school with 45 classmates and a basic general education. I also graduated with a big dream of flying airplanes and being an Auburn engineer. I have a story about my dad and me. I was 4 years old, and my dad, a World War II veteran, was enrolled here at Auburn in mechanical engineering. My sister was a baby, and Mom needed a babysitter for me. Dad became the babysitter, and he would take me to his engineering classes. I had a backpack, and I sat in the back of the classroom coloring and playing. I was told my favorite class was physics. That later became known as physics. I guess I liked it so well that 13 years later, I enrolled in engineering here at Auburn. And 5 years after that, President Philpott shook my hand and handed me an aerospace engineering diploma that included an FAA private pilot's license. My world opened up immensely that day. That solo flight and those physics classes were precursors to a challenging and rewarding 45-year career with McDonnell Douglas and Boeing. I am now retired and can reflect and tell all those good stories from my previous life. Makes me think of a good 3-act play. You know, the beginning, the middle, and the ending. Each part has great stories. I subscribe to a magazine titled Third Act, Aging with Confidence. I like this magazine because I am living the third act of my life, retirement and recharging. It has nothing to do with ending. That led me to think about Act 1 and Act 2 of my life, the beginning and the middle. You know, being born and learning some stuff and doing something and then it's over. That's not what it is at all. Our life is our story, and it does have an Act 1 beginning and an Act 2 a middle and an Act 3 recharge and a time to give back. So this speech is part of my story and a challenge to each of you to make your life story the best possible. My Act 2 was full of new challenges and opportunities with McDonnell Douglas and later Boeing. My first position with the company was in structural and mechanical design. In 1969, the DC-10 wing was designed in St. Louis, and that was my first assignment. I had been the only woman in my classes at Auburn, but in the work environment, being the only woman again was different. Higher stakes, remember that part. More anxiety and uncertainty. I was now an employee with a salary and a career to protect and advance. Now that I look back, I can say that was a great day in my life, an awakening, a turning point for sure. Little did I know it was the beginning of 45 years of designing, testing, and developing the F-4, the F-15, the F-18, the T-45, the AV-8, and many advanced aircraft. I recall that the conversations with my male colleagues were mostly about Auburn football, my Southern accent, and what are grits and why do you like them? McDonnell Douglas had never had a woman in the group with an engineering degree, so I was a first for them also. I don't want you to leave here today thinking a 3-act play has only a beginning, a middle, and an ending. I believe our academic colleagues here today would support the reason for acts in a play is to make sure that the story evolves, where the stakes get higher and ultimately reach a thought-provoking pinnacle and resolution. My career in aviation taught me about planning and risk-taking, flexibility and decision-making, communication, critical thinking, listening, problem-solving, and building relationships with people. All of these qualities are highly sought after in the workplace. You will encounter them all. Be ready and be prepared. And along with the good will come the not so good, the mistakes, the barriers, the setbacks, and the negatives. They are unavoidable. I encourage you, don't be afraid of mistakes. Land on the drag strip. Endure the faux pas that comes, make the most of it, and move on. Your time has come to make your mark. And as taught by my parents, do something. My dad said, even if it is wrong, you're bound to get half of it right, and for sure you're going to learn something. He was right. Your career awaits you. Auburn has equipped you with a strong foundation and the fundamentals of our beloved Auburn creed. You accepted the challenge, you took the risk, you succeeded with some tasks, you failed at others, and for some, you thought about quitting, but you did not quit. That means you are ready for Act Two. Give it your best. Enjoy it. And after Act Two, take your confidence, your courage, and your commitment into your Act Three. I know you're going to love Act Three. May God bless you all. War Eagle!
Thank you, Ms. Lee, for those inspiring remarks. That was fantastic. Now it is my pleasure to recognize several groups of undergraduate students who are graduating with academic honors. We know that for our undergraduate students, tomorrow is your big day as you walk across the stage, but I know we also have some undergraduate students with us tonight, and we will confer the degrees officially tonight. So I'd like to recognize those who are achieving academic honors. So first, I'd like to recognize those who are graduating with honors based upon their cumulative grade point averages. So our undergraduate students with a grade point average between 3.4 and 3.59 graduate cum laude, and I ask our cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. Students with a grade point average of 3.6 to 3.79 graduate magna cum laude, and I ask our magna cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. Students with a grade point average of 3.8 and above graduate summa cum laude, and I ask our summa cum laude degree candidates to rise and be recognized. You may be seated. 1979 marked the beginning of the honors program at Auburn University. In 1998, that program became the Honors College. Would all those who have earned a distinction within the Honors College please rise and be recognized? I would also like to recognize our military service members. Would all active duty and veteran service members in the audience, as well as our graduates who have been commissioned in our military services, please stand. Thank you for your service to our country. Each semester, a graduate is selected by the academic leadership to represent his or her respective college or school. To be considered, a student must have completed a minimum of 60 hours, have an unadjusted GPA of 3.4 or higher, possess qualities of leadership, citizenship, character, and the promise of professional ability. I will now ask the Dean of the College of Agriculture to come forward and present their student marshal. Dean Paul Patterson, College of Agriculture.
Would Amrit Paul please stand? On behalf of the faculty in the College of Agriculture, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Amrit Paul. Amrit is from Punjab, India, and is receiving a Master of Science in Poultry Science. He earned his bachelor's degree in dairy technology from Guru Angad Dev Veterinary and Animal Sciences University in India. His interest in food safety began during an internship in a food company's quality control section. He decided on Auburn in order to work with Dr. Diana Barasa, assistant professor and extension specialist in poultry science, and felt that this program would allow him to acquire the research skills and knowledge regarding food safety. As a graduate research assistant in poultry science, his research project focused specifically on the study of airborne transmission of salmonella in poultry houses. During his time at Auburn, he was involved in the Poultry and Food Science Graduate Club, Poultry Science Association, and the International Association for Food Protections. After graduation, Amrit plans to pursue a doctorate with the University of Georgia's Food Microbiology and Food Safety program. Please join me in congratulating Amrit Paul.
Dean Vinnie Nathan, College of Architecture, Design, and Construction.
Would Justin Schwab please stand? On behalf of the faculty in the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Justin Schwab. Justin is from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and he is receiving a Bachelor of Science in Building Science. Since he was a kid playing with Legos, Justin had a fondness for building things, and he especially enjoys building buildings. During his time at Auburn, Justin was a member of the International Construction Honor Society Sigma Lambda Chi's Iota chapter, as well as he was also on the Chartered Institute of Building competition team. As a former flight equipment technician with the United States Marine Corps, Justin became involved with Auburn University's Student Veteran Program, and he has worked tirelessly to raise awareness for veteran mental health and suicide prevention. Justin is also a member of the Intercollegiate Horse Shows Association equestrian team. After graduation, Justin will start his new job as a senior project associate with the Miller Electric Company in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Please join me in congratulating Justin Schwab.
Dean Annette Ramph, Raymond J. Harbert, College of Business.
Would Lindsay Aaron Fish please stand? On behalf of the faculty in the Raymond J. Harbert College of Business, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Lindsay Aaron Fish. Lindsay is from Madison, Alabama, and is receiving her Bachelor of Science degree in Management with a focus on Human Resource Management. Lindsay chose Human Resource Management as the foundation to launch her career because of her passion for helping others and for leading people. During her time at Auburn, she has demonstrated that passion through her involvement in the Society for Human Resource Management and through her service as a teacher's aide. She believes Auburn has prepared her to be a leader who can have a positive impact on society, especially through the advancement of women in the workplace. Lindsay has interned with GE Appliances in Kentucky and will continue to work with GE's Human Resources Department after graduation. She has been encouraged by GE to apply for their Leadership Development Program and plans to continue her education and pursue her master's degree in the future. Please join me in congratulating Lindsay Aaron Fish.
Dean Jeffrey Fairbrother, College of Education.
Would Abigail Margaret Kramer please stand? On behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Abigail Margaret Kramer. Abigail is from Windermere, Florida, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science. She became interested in sports medicine during high school and began working alongside the school's trainer and many of the athletes. While at Auburn, Abigail was selected to be an undergraduate research fellow and lab assistant, a kinesiology student leader and worker, a peer instructor for a kinesiology learning community. She was also involved in the Auburn University Research Student Symposium, Southeastern American College of Sports Medicine Regional Chapter, Tiger Tutor Program, and was a School of Kinesiology student ambassador. Her undergraduate research involved the study of residual effects of playing an overhand sport on humeral retroversion, range of motion, and isometric strength. After graduation, she plans on attending medical school and hopes to use her degree to provide medical care to underdeveloped nations. She would also like to pursue a career in sports medicine. Please join me in congratulating Abigail Kramer.
Dean Christopher Roberts, Samuel Ginn College of Engineering.
Would Emily Schramek please stand? On behalf of the Samuel Ginn College of Engineering, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Emily Schramek. Emily is from Birmingham, Alabama, and is receiving a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering with a minor in business. And while at Auburn, she served in a variety of positions within the college, including being a tutor, a teaching assistant, a student worker for the Office of Engineering's Recruiting and Scholarships, and she was also a member of Delta Zeta, 100 Plus Women Strong, Omega Chi Epsilon Honor Society, and Tau Beta Pi Honor Society. Her proudest achievement has been serving as the executive chair for the Cupola Engineering Ambassadors after being selected during her sophomore year. And she's also completed 3 co-op rotations with Intramicron Incorporated, with an intern for Process Intensification Deployment Program with the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and she recently completed an internship for Stanford University's Hoover Institution. After graduation, Emily plans to pursue a career in environmental and sustainability engineering. Please join me in congratulating Emily Schramek.
Dean Janaki Alavadapati, School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences.
Would Dylan McGlamory please stand? On behalf of the faculty and staff in the School of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Dylan McGlamory. Dylan is from Huntsville, Alabama, and is receiving his Bachelor of Science in Wildlife Ecology and Management. His passion for wildlife began during his childhood in London, England, when he collected and studied several types of bugs, frogs, and lizards. During his time at Auburn, he has worked at the Southeastern Raptor Center as a student worker, mainly with the birds in rehabilitation, and is currently a classroom technology support technician for the Office of Information and Technology at Auburn. He was also involved in AU Impact and volunteered with the Auburn Opelika Community Market Food Bank. Following graduation, Dylan plans to work with either an endangered species such as the gopher tortoise, whose burrows directly benefit more than 320 other species, or assisting in the management or removal of invasive plants. Please join me in congratulating Dylan McGlamory.
Dean Susan Hubbard, College of Human Sciences.
Would Cammie Payne please stand? On behalf of the faculty of the College of Human Sciences, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Cammie Payne. Cammie is from Huntsville, Alabama, and is receiving her Bachelor of Science in Human Development and Family Science. A bit about Cammie. She underwent 4 shoulder surgeries throughout her childhood, which gave her a true understanding of the effects of hospitalization on children. These experiences inspired her to pursue a degree in human development and family science, the child life option, to become a certified child life specialist in the hopes of improving the hospital experience for children and families. During her time at Auburn, Cammie was involved in a variety of organizations, including Kappa Omicron Nu, National Society of Collegiate Scholars, Golden Key International Honor Society, Human Development and Family Studies Professionals Club, and Charge. In her spare time, she was an Auburn Rec and Wellness personal trainer and participated in the Auburn University Dance Marathon. After graduation, Cammie plans to pursue her Master of Science in Child Life at Auburn University. Please join me in congratulating Cammie Payne.
Dean Anna Franco Watkins, College of Liberal Arts.
Excuse me. Would Brianna Caitlin Harris please stand? Thank you. On behalf of the faculty in the College of Liberal Arts, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Brianna Caitlin Harris. Brianna is from Atlanta, Georgia, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science in Health Services Administration with a minor in business. She is also a University Honors Scholar and decided on Auburn because of the Honors College program. During her time at Auburn, she was involved in the Health and Hospital Administration Organization, Honors Congress, Phi Beta Phi sorority, and was president of Epsilon Phi Delta Health Administration Honor Society. Brianna previously held a business intelligence internship with Quantum Health and is completing an internship with Kassoff Healthcare Solutions. She was awarded the Health Administration Leadership Award by the College of Liberal Arts faculty. After graduation, she'll be joining the American Family Care's corporate office as a human resource representative in Birmingham, Alabama. Please join me in congratulating Brianna Harris.
Dean Greg Neuschwander, School of Nursing.
Would Taylor Lee White please stand? On behalf of the faculty of the School of Nursing, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Taylor Lee White. Taylor's from Fairhope, Alabama, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. She's always been interested in healthcare, but a family hospitalization experience made her want to become a nurse when she saw how deeply nurses cared for their family during a difficult time. Taylor feels the best part of her nursing program is the people, from the professors to her peers, who have shown her what it truly means to be a patient advocate and learning what a vital role nurses play in patients receiving the highest quality care possible. During her time at Auburn, Taylor was a peer tutor with study partners, a member of Sigma Theta Tau Honor Society, and a camp counselor with Auburn Youth Programs. After graduation, Taylor will be moving to Nashville to work at the Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt in the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit. She hopes to eventually continue her education to become a nurse practitioner or nurse educator. Please join me in congratulating Taylor Lee White.
Dean Nicholas Giordano, College of Sciences and Mathematics.
Would Daniel Robert Lepard please stand? On behalf of the College of Sciences and Mathematics faculty, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Daniel Robert Lepard. Daniel is from Madison, Alabama, and is receiving a Bachelor of Science in Geology with an emphasis in paleontology degree. Since childhood, he's had an interest in the history of the Earth and its behavior. In his coursework, Daniel's been involved in paleontology research and participated in field research and field work in Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, and the Bahamas. His most recent project involved the study of postcranial pneumaticity of the sauropod dinosaur Alamosaurus to determine how hollow the dinosaur's bones were in comparison to its weight. Daniel has a variety of interests in addition to science. During his time at Auburn, he played trombone in the Auburn University Marching Band and served as president of the Martial Arts Club. After graduation, he plans to attend the University of Iowa to complete his master's and doctoral degrees and then pursue a career as a professor in paleontology. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating Daniel Robert Liepard.
Associate Dean Frank Bartol, College of Veterinary Medicine.
Would Ann Sessa McGuire please stand? On behalf of the faculty of the College of Veterinary Medicine, I'd like to introduce our student marshal, Ann Sessa McGuire. Ann is from Lexington, Kentucky, and is receiving her doctorate in biomedical sciences. Prior to her time at Auburn, she was a nationally competitive ice dancer. After trading her skates for study materials, Ann earned bachelor's degrees from the University of California at Berkeley in integrative biology in 2009. And in 2017, she obtained a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from Auburn, stayed focused on biomedical research. Her research specialty is in adapting novel microscopy and image analysis techniques for assessing gene therapy in feline models of devastating neurodegenerative diseases. After graduation, Ann will begin a postdoctoral position in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania with Avid Radiopharmaceuticals, a wholly owned subsidiary of Eli Lilly. Eventually, Ann would like to be a leading researcher in the field of image analysis, neurodegenerative disease, and translational medicine. Join me in congratulating Ann Sessa McGuire.
Associate Dean Maria Whitty, Graduate School.
On behalf of the faculty and the graduate school, I would like to introduce our student marshal, Dr. Brittany Consuegra Griffin. Brittany is from Huntsville, Alabama, and is receiving her Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanical Engineering. She also earned her bachelor and master's degrees from Auburn in Mechanical Engineering. Brittany has always had a love for figuring out how things work and why they work and the way that they do. The mechanical engineering program naturally led her to follow her interest in acoustics and dynamics while using a wide range of technologies. Brittany has worked in a variety of positions with the United States Army, including test engineer with the Redstone Technical Test Center, mechanical engineer and project lead with the Combat Capabilities Development Command Aviation and Missile Center. And she participated in the Engineer and Scientist Exchange Program in Munich, Germany, working alongside the German military. Her doctoral research focuses on using acoustic metamaterials to mitigate high-frequency acoustic noise from devices, such as the sensors in your phone. She currently has 2 patent applications filed for the designs developed during her research. During her time at Auburn, she met and married her husband, Massey, of 8 years now. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Brittany Consuegra Griffin.
Thank you, Dr. Whitty. We now come to the conferring of the undergraduate degrees. Would all undergraduate degree candidates with us today please rise? Trustee Saley and President Gouge, on behalf of all the colleges and schools at Auburn University, it is my pleasure to present these students for the conferral of the bachelor's degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. Please be seated.
We begin the awarding of degrees with the honorary degree, Doctor of Science, honoris causa. One of the highest honors that can be bestowed upon an individual by Auburn University is the conferral of an honorary degree. This is underscored by the fact that since 1856, Auburn has awarded only 159 honorary degrees. The honorary degree is Auburn's method of recognizing a few very special individuals who have brought honor to themselves, their communities, their profession, their alma mater, and this nation. Earlier this year, the Board of Trustees of Auburn University recognized the awarding of an honorary degree to Ralph Jordan, Jr. Dr. Nicholas Giordano, Dean of the College of Sciences and Mathematics, will now introduce Mr. Jordan.
Good evening. I'm extremely honored to introduce a man who's been in service to Auburn University in one form or another for more than 5 decades. While he is the son of legendary Auburn coach Shug Jordan, James Ralph Jordan Jr. has established a legacy that embodies many of the same qualities his father is remembered for excellence, hard work, service, education, and most importantly, honor. Ralph attended Auburn, earning a bachelor's degree in biological sciences in 1970, and then his master's degree in zoology in 1975. He later received a postgraduate fellowship for study at the Natural Resources Leadership Institute at North Carolina State University. Ralph spent his professional career in a variety of positions at the Tennessee Valley Authority, first working as a non-game and endangered species biologist, and then progressing to administrative roles. He became involved in managing the use and development of the TVA's recreational lands, especially with regards to the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Water Act, and the Natural Environmental Policy Act. The TVA honored his efforts and dedication with its Bronze Honor Award. Here at Auburn, Ralph has been instrumental to the College of Sciences and Mathematics by serving as an advisor to several deans, including me, as well as serving as a member and longtime chair of the COSAM Leadership Council. His role in the creation of the Auburn University Museum of Natural History was invaluable. Without his assistance and guidance and efforts, the creation of a formal museum to house our extensive collections of plant and animal specimens would not have taken place. As a result, the college honored him with the COSAM Distinguished Alumni Award in 2014. In addition to his commitment to COSAM, Ralph also served the university through his work with the Alumni Association, the Office of Development, and Auburn Athletics. He was president of the Alumni Association from 2006 through 2008 and was instrumental in strengthening the relationship with regional clubs and increasing the number of scholarships that the Alumni Association awarded to students. He was a member of the steering committee for the It Begins at Auburn capital campaign from 2001 to 2008 and participated on the Athletics Advisory Board. Ralph Jordan has served his alma mater in many important and impactful ways. He's had a career of distinction with exemplary service to his profession, to COSAM, and to Auburn University. I am honored to be a part of awarding an honorary degree to Ralph Jordan, Jr. Congratulations, Ralph.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, to which you are entitled with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining.
At this time, I would like to ask Regina Sanders, President of the Auburn Alumni Association, to officially welcome you to the Auburn Alumni Association. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Sanders.
Thank you, Provost Hardgrave. Congratulations and War Eagle. Now that you have completed the academic requirements and earned your Auburn University degree, you join a group of alumni who, like you, believe in work, hard work, honesty and truthfulness, and a spirit that is not afraid. Auburn University alumni have used their degrees to serve others, better their communities, and succeed in ways that they may never have imagined on the day that they wore their cap and gown. I have no doubt that each of you will do the same. You became a member of the Auburn family when you made the decision to attend Auburn University. You made friends that will last a lifetime, greeted strangers on heyday, and rolled Toomer's Corner after a win. You studied, you played, and you belonged. Today, it is my honor to welcome you as the newest members of the Auburn Alumni Association. You have received an official Auburn pin, which I hope you will wear often. Next month, you will receive an Alumni Association decal in the mail to display proudly. As you head out into the world, please remember that your Auburn Alumni Association is here to assist you in staying connected to the university and to each other. Whether you stay in the loveliest village on the plains or you move cross continents, there are plenty of ways to stay close to your Auburn family. I encourage you to connect to the vast Auburn Alumni Network, download the Alumni Association app for EverAU, find a local Auburn club or affiliate group, stay in touch with your school or college, and once you're established, submit a young alumni story. You can visit our website to explore numerous programs and services available to you, as well as read our Auburn magazine online. Welcome again to the Auburn Alumni Association. And as the president of the association, I am so proud of each of you and honored to share this special day. It is my hope that each of you will always believe in Auburn and love it. Congratulations again, and War Eagle.
Congratulations to all the undergraduates whose degrees were conferred tonight and will be presented during the commencement ceremonies tomorrow. Undergraduates and families, we look forward to seeing you during your individual college or school ceremony. As a reminder, commencement ceremonies are here in the arena and photo ops are in the stadium immediately after each ceremony. Please consult the website for specific times for your ceremony. Now, would everyone please stand and join in the singing of the alma mater, led again by Miss Alexis Ligon. Thank you. You may be seated. This concludes the commencement address portion of the evening and begins our graduate school ceremony. I want to be the first to offer congratulations to our graduate students, our newest doctoral and master's graduates who we will recognize tonight. At this time, I would like to ask Maria Whitty, Associate Dean of the Graduate School, to please come forward.
Welcome, graduate students, to the Summer 2021 Graduate School Commencement Ceremony. You did it, and the time has come to be recognized for your degrees. During your studies, you overcame many challenges, but yet you persevered. Today, we celebrate you and your accomplishments as Auburn University graduate students. You are the critical link to Auburn's fine and recognized programs. Your work has and will continue the legacy of research, instruction, and outreach missions. You have been involved in helping with the global fight against heart disease, testing high reliability electronics, developing additive manufacturing for next generation implants and orthotics, investigating cancer survivorship and health outcomes efforts, and including rural African American aging research on factors and health disparities. You were part of these important contributions and will continue valuable work in the future. You have faced COVID-related circumstances and determined that you would not let those conditions dictate the direction of your life or in meeting the goals that you set for your life. You pulled on strengths you didn't even know you had, pulled on strengths using proactivity and putting first things first. The graduate school team commends your efforts, and you have our respect and admiration. We are so very proud of you. Graduates, you made it. Congratulations, and War Eagle. At this time, would all candidates for degrees of Doctor of Philosophy please rise and remain standing? Trustee Saley, President Gouge, and Provost Hardgrave, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is my pleasure to present these doctoral candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Auburn University Board of Trustees, I do now confer upon each of you the doctoral degree to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining.
Absolutely. The Doctor of Philosophy is the highest degree awarded in the Academy of Universities. Part of the tradition associated with the awarding of these degrees is a special ceremony. It involves the presentation of a doctoral hood. Would the major professors of the doctoral candidates please escort your graduate to the stage to be hooded as Professor Smith calls their name. Members of the graduation committee will direct you to the stage.
Dr. Maud Emmanuel Hook, headed by Dr. Suling. Dr. Shuwen Zhui, headed by Dr. Suling. Dr. Ann McGuire, headed by Dr. Douglas Martin. Dr. Seba Omer, headed by Dr. Martin. Dr. Hayden Hickey, headed by Dr. Anna Frankel-Watkins. Dr. Mohammed Ansar Ansari, headed by Dr. Jeffrey Smith. Dr. Mumin Rababa, headed by Dr. Smith. Dr. Zhong Chu, headed by Dr. Alexander Vanel. Dr. Robert Davis, headed by Dr. Claude Boyd. Dr. Rania Moran, headed by Dr. Kelly Krauchek. Dr. Vaibhav Gupta, headed by Dr. Michael Hamilton. Dr. Suma Besak, headed by Dr. Scott McElroy. Dr. Heishan Ju, headed by Dr. Xinyu Zhang. Dr. Kirill Sathar, headed by Dr. Peter He. Dr. Zhengwan Li, headed by Dr. He. Dr. Shujin Li, headed by Stephen Mansourabadi. Dr. Langji Li, headed by Zhang Yang Chen. Dr. Emmanuel Iapio, headed by Dr. Daniel Wells. Dr. Lisa Powell, headed by Dr. Barry. Dr. Surendra Gadagante, headed by Dr. Fabricio Leyva. Dr. Victoria Skelton, hooded by Dr. Eden McLean. Dr. Nicholas Phillips, hooded by Dr. Jada Kohlmeyer. Dr. Olivia Ennis, hooded by Dr. Ellen Hahn. Dr. Brandon Lee Kaiser, hooded by Dr. Hahn. Dr. Emre Kayali, headed by Dr. Maid Bagdali. Dr. Charlene Brickman, headed by Dr. Sean Durham. Dr. Shalane Taylor, headed by Dr. Lisa Kinsler. Dr. Catherine Conradson, headed by Dr. Andrew Pendola. Dr. Charles Nesbitt, headed by Dr. Volton. Dr. Kumar's Batter, headed by Dr. Jin Wang. Dr. Shin Young Sao, headed by Dr. Jeffrey Coleman. Dr. James Crean, headed by Dr. Alan Landers. Dr. Yujie Sun, headed by Dr. Edward Davis. Dr. Ashley Reiner, headed by Dr. Chung Wan He. Dr. Reza Hamadi, headed by Dr. Konrad Batkowski. Dr. Jilei Wang, headed by Dr. John Hong. Dr. Ziqi Jiao, headed by Dr. Juzhuo Gun. Dr. Soham Roy, headed by Dr. Milligan and Dr. Agrawal. Dr. Prabha Leona Partharange, headed by Dr. Neha Porches. Dr. Chao Wei Zhang, headed by Dr. Chao Jing. Dr. James Calton, headed by Dr. Ken. Dr. Malcolm Alcorn, headed by Dr. Crenn. Dr. Stephen Daw, headed by Dr. David Paradise. Dr. Caitlin Lyons, headed by Dr. Joellen Sefton. Dr. Jessica Downs, headed by Dr. Gretchen Oliver. Dr. Yuna Connolly, headed by Dr. Yi-Ming Lee. Dr. Jennifer Vanslander, hooded by Dr. Victoria Cordula. Dr. Winyu Ju, hooded by Dr. Richard Chapman. Dr. Doris Eves, hooded by Dr. James Woody. Dr. Catherine Funderburg, hooded by Dr. Whitty. Dr. Tara Jones, hooded by Dr. James Grocia. Dr. Megan Kelly, headed by Dr. Mary Mendonza. Dr. Jenna Pruitt, hooded by Dr. Daniel Warner. Dr. Abby Beatty, hooded by Dr. Tanya Schwartz. Dr. Nikita Tingle, hooded by Dr. Baggett and Dr. Garcia. Dr. Andrea Beal, hooded by Dr. Carrie Andrzejewski. Dr. Dwayne Clark, hooded by Dr. Andrzejewski. Dr. Carlton Fox, hooded by Dr. Michael Roberts. Dr. Cameron Sweer, hooded by Dr. Daniel Wadsworth. Dr. Harry Liu, hooded by Dr. Peter Hasty. Dr. Christina Chesanek, hooded by Dr. James Ryan. Dr. Mustafa Nakai, hooded by Dr. David Tim. Dr. Devdup Basu, hooded by Dr. Jack Montgomery. Dr. Tuan Sellers, hooded by Dr. Teal and Dr. Strunk. Dr. Shinovia Scott, hooded by Dr. Taylor. Dr. Jonathan Burson, hooded by Dr. Justin Benefield. Dr. Tihong Nguyen Nguyen, hooded by Dr. Benefield. Dr. Abigail Holder, hooded by Dr. Nick Durzis. Dr. Taylor Ward, hooded by Dr. Leanne Skinner. Dr. Rachel Whitman, hooded by Dr. Daniel Swantek. Dr. Michael Roch, hooded by Dr. Jesse Michael. Dr. Nicole Schifrin, hooded by Dr. Michael. Dr. Ying Shorty, hooded by Dr. Gary Adams. Dr. Jessica Norton, hooded by Dr. Duke and Dr. Yildirim. Dr. Dewandra Eugene, hooded by Dr. Duke. Dr. Margaret Mastro Giovanni, hooded by Dr. David Shannon. Dr. Dwayne White, Jr., hooded by Dr. Jamie Carney. Dr. Tammy Montgomery, hooded by Dr. Chapewa Thomas. Dr. Ashley Brown, hooded by Dr. Thomas. Dr. Sarah Crickbaum, hooded by Dr. Jeff Katz. Dr. Natasha Benfer, hooded by Dr. Joseph Bardeen. Dr. Travis Rogers, hooded by Dr. Bardeen. Dr. Della Laughlin, hooded by Dr. Christine Garrison. Dr. Jessica Petrie, hooded by Dr. Christian End. Dr. Haiti Song, hooded by Dr. Evelyn Hunter. Dr. Jonathan Mitchell, hooded by Dr. Hunter. Dr. Richard Davis III, hooded by Dr. Elizabeth Bruston Knight. Dr. Mariam Fatima, hooded by Dr. Van Wyk. Dr. Somak Das, hooded by Dr. Van Wyk. Dr. Noel Perciva Asogba, hooded by Professor Kanukin. Dr. Prasenjit Ghosh, hooded by Dr. Kanukin.
Please join me in congratulating these new doctoral graduates. Yes! Are you ready for more? Yes. Would all candidates for master's degrees please rise and remain standing? Trustee Saley, President Gouge, and Provost Hargrave, on behalf of the graduate faculty, it is my pleasure to present these master's candidates for the conferral of their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a member of the Board of Trustees of Auburn University, I do now confer upon each of you the master's degree to which you are entitled, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. Graduates will come forward as Professor Smith calls your name. Members of the graduation committee will direct you to the stage.
Amrit Pal. Ashley Cahalan. Taylor Fagan. Elena Wisniewski. Abby Wood. Emily Cooley. Morgan Williamson. Chloe Baker. Micah Harris. Kayla Harris. Ashton Babb. Heidi Couch. Kaylee Boone. Frankie Troutman. Lindsay Jones. Jennifer Reeves. Chelsea Garris. Imani Hill. Princess Hale. Brianna Allen. Jody Jernigan. Samantha Clements. Shaniqua Cole. Alkia Motley. Molly Dale. Edwin Price II. Amanda Strozier. Shannon Young. Griffin DiMaggio. Christopher Lewis Jr. Zola Cheres. Shi Ji Quinn. John Hartley. Matthew Beth. Taylor Brown. Sienna Munns. Angelia Belfior. Stephanie Meyer. Megan Diber. Carmen Hatter. Jesleen Race. Lauren Walls. Jeremy Richards. Mariah Gillette. Marcus Washington. Sai Dipti Yadula. Joshua Finley. Hayes Lucas. Joshua Wood. Daniel Stubbs. Edwin Martin. Hunter Smith. Madison Cole. Logan Caudle. Alethea Kantamukula. Christian Reese. Sierra McWhirter. Alyssa Johnson. Ashton Ledden. Rebecca Bostrom. Riley Newton. Kristen Woodard. Alice Mendez. Francisco Aguirre Arancibia. Kara Gordon. Krista Gordon. Benjamin Pope. Lindsay Anderson. Lydia DeHart. Jay Patel. Sujata Sinha. Vanika Gupta. Pratiksha Matal. Megan Walling. Caitlin Cornelius. Malcolm Askew. Hannah Wilson. Alexis Weldon. Jenny Burt. Andrea Kennedy. Abigail Holscher. Hannah Reyes. Nate Lafuma. Dontavius Tidwell. Rudine. Amanda Manwaran. Addison Love. Jenna Holt. John Graham. Whitley James. Colin Wheeler. William Judy. Isaiah Wasson. Nicholas Reichley. Ishida Actor Eva. Christian Zettel. Court Fisher. William Fisher. Morgan Elder. Robert Fett. Courtney Konjovic. Jamie Braun. Zachary Reichel. Joshua Newcomb. Catherine Reese. Michael Mayfield. Daniel Aqua. Supriya Tinavar. Andrea Noelle Corme. Travis Lavalle. Luke Camrath. Nathan Thompson. Oswell Are. Miranda Chambliss. Walter Fleming. Tianxi Ji. Kristen Stumpf. Pin Gao Chen. Chen Fu Lu. Charles Speaks. Ethan Jones. Tyler Rowe. Tyler Gibson. Grace Langout. Mary Elizabeth Walker. Nancy Blanco. Jin Hong Park. Madeline Castle. Alyssa Pritchard. Naya Avila. Roxy Faulkner. Elizabeth Siegel. Emma Tagan. Nicole Fungaroli. Gina Taylor. Shantanique Hendricks. Sarah Rudiger. Jessica Thompson. Anna Heyer. Hunter Chitty. Culver Norrid. Abby Casso. Sarah Henry. Nicholas Bradley. Vashti Davis. Vanaya Davis. Yu Zhu Yang. Jialing Huang. Shane An. Juan Lee. Jonathan Whitehead. Marcus Christian. Gary Walkley. Madison Treadwell. Matthew Summerlin. Ajay Jaiswal. Natalie Gentry. Stacy Robinson. Cami Shand. Morgan Thomas. Peyton Goodling. Taylor Ewell. Jessica Bird. Madison Powell. Devin Booth. Allison Gregory. Virginia Gabrelevich. Courtney Creel. Allison Davis. Christopher Herrick. Beth Leatherwood. Tiffany Crowley. Yewa. Keani Jefferson. Stephen Lee. Keegan Lofton.
So as we conclude our ceremony, I would like to take a moment for us to recognize those who have made this day possible. Please join me in thanking Auburn University's graduation committee and all those who have worked to make this commencement ceremony a success. Give them a round of applause. Graduates, thank you for choosing Auburn University. It has been our pleasure to serve you as educators, mentors, and friends. May you experience a truly successful life. Congratulations and War Eagle. Please rise and remain standing until the platform party, faculty, and new doctors have recessed from the area. War Eagle.